show that proves you don't need to be an expert to be a great artist. Get your paintbrushes and your colors ready, because together we're going to awesomely create artworks like these. A viewer to watch wonderful stories. An enormous design full of light and fantasy. A technique to give your drawings body. A tree that will be familiar to you. And the wacky suggestions of our eco-artist, Vincent Van Coconut. Planet 123 is in sight.
Okay.
We begin our descent. Landing successful. Oh, it's a blue planet.
Wow!
Now I'm gonna stick the Art Attack flag right here.
Ah!
Oh no, it's an alien. Our astronaut discovered a new planet and came away with a big surprise. He's discovered life in outer space. Whoa, that's so cool. Would you like to have your own Art Attack Pocket Cinema and make your own films? To do so, the first thing you need is an empty toothpaste box, like this one, to view your films through. You just have to remove the flaps and cover from one end. It's easy, you can tear it off with your hands. Once you do that, it will look like this. And for the other end, remove the flaps only and leave the cover. Now, have a look at what comes next.
Okay.
Begin by making the hole that you will put your eye against to view through. To do this, draw a small circle on the cover. Then, on the opposite end of the box, make these two marks and draw two lines like this. You have to make similar ones at the same level on the opposite side. Then cut them out. It should look like this, a slot on each side. Also cut out the circle you drew on the cover. You can do it by making the hole with a pencil. To strengthen the viewer, cover it with pieces of newspaper and Art Attack paste, made with equal amounts of glue and water. This box is already like a movie theater that you can carry in your pocket. Look, the strip with the scenes from your story will slide through here. Because like any movie, it must have film. Let's create the images together. Why don't we begin by making the frames? Take a look.
Okay.
Take a thin rectangular piece of cardboard, place the viewer on one of its corners, and mark the height of the box. Do the same on the opposite side. Use a ruler to draw a line that connects both marks. Then draw another line right underneath it. And lastly, draw another line right above the bottom edge of the rectangle. Leave a bit of space here and trace the outline of the viewer to make the slides. Repeat this step until you make the number of frames that you need to tell your story. Cut out the excess and the inside of each frame. It should look like this. You have to make two identical strips with frames. To do this, you can copy one strip over a piece of cardboard and cut it out. Then you will have to color the frames black on one side. Look, this is how they should look like. See? Inside each of these frames, the scenes of your story will unfold. Where are we going to draw these scenes? On a piece of tracing paper like this. The first thing you must do is trace the outline of the frames. Here we'll trace the first frame.
Okay.
And do the same for the rest of the frames. And once you do that, cut out the excess paper and it will look like this. Now it's time to draw the scenes of your film.
Okay.
Watch closely. Come up with a story and draw it with a black marker. Remember that you need to tell the story using the number of frames that you made. In this case, the story will be told in 5 frames, and it will be a space story. In this scene, the character is going to get a big surprise. Use markers to color the scenes. The spaceship will be orange, and it will have a blue sign. Use many colors so that the slides look cheerful and pretty. The planet will be blue, and the character's spacesuit will be red. Next, choose a color for the background. Finally, choose a color for the alien. When you're done, grab the 2 strips of frames that you painted black and apply glue on the side you didn't color. Glue them together on both sides of the scenes that you just drew. It will look like this. It looks great. Our space story is now on film. All we have to do is give color to the box of the viewer to complete our pocket cinema. And since it's a space story, let's paint stars and planets. Bring your markers and brushes.
Okay.
Use a pencil to draw a planet around the peephole and stars everywhere. Next, paint the viewer with your favorite colors. You can use purple because it could be the color for space. Some of the stars will be yellow and others red. Use blue for this planet and a bit of white for this other one. You can create the most wonderful worlds with a paintbrush, such as this one with green dots. There are no limits to your imagination. The show is about to begin. Look, the planets have been outlined with a marker to make them stand out. Now that you know how to tell stories with your pocket cinema, you can create different models. Look at this one. For this story, the box is decorated with a marine design. It's got funny looking fish on both sides.
Let's take a look.
A diver comes across a little fish and he tries to grab it. But it turns out to be a giant pufferfish. It puffs up and floats up to the surface with the diver on top. And they splashed away into the sunset. Now let's see what's showing at this cinema. Decorated with chickens? Let's look inside.
Okay, let's take a look.
Mother hen is sitting on her eggs when she hears a sound. A chick is about to be hatched. Mother hen looks on curiously as the egg breaks. She is surprised to see a strange yellow eye. It's a dinosaur! There's been a mix-up in the egg. Ha! Now that's funny. And take a look at this design. A giant cinema! It's made with a much bigger box. Let's see what it's showing. I was sleeping peacefully under a tree when all of a sudden an apple fell. Toop! Right on my head. I looked at it and said, "What a tasty looking apple." But it turns out that someone else has already started to bite into it. Ha! Now it's your turn to create stories with surprising endings and view them on your own pocket cinema.
Hello, Vincent Van Coconut here, Coconut Tree Filmmaker. Let's watch once again how to make our slideshow of stories. Cut the flaps and one of the covers from a toothpaste box. Then make a hole on the remaining cover and 2 slots on opposite sides of the box. Next, cover the box with pieces of newspaper and Art Attack paste. Then, draw a strip with many frames on a piece of cardboard, cut it out, and make another strip just like it. Paint one of the sides black. Copy the strips on tracing paper. Use color markers to draw and color the scenes of your story. Then, glue the frames to the tracing paper. Finally, design the viewer with patterns that complement the theme of your story and color it. I actually made up my own movie! Look, once upon a time there was a desert island. One day a coconut arrived floating on the water. The coconut sank into the ground and with the help of rain, a stalk grew bigger and bigger until it became a beautiful coconut tree known as Vincent Van Coconut. Did you like my movie? What are you waiting for? Go ahead and make your own, my friend.
What?
you ready for some really big art?
Yes.
This time, Alex created a magical and festive design filled with colors. It will make your imagination soar. Whoever guesses what he created first wins. Ready, set, go!
It's the Disneyland bag and made with fireworks. So come on, try out.
What a wonderful image! A castle lit up by fireworks! You know, I imagine that a royal wedding is taking place and that the whole kingdom is celebrating. A beautiful love story with a happy ending.
Oh, I'm me again. Would you like to make a ghost that looks as real as the one you just saw? You'll need the usual materials: glue, paint, newspaper, and tape. But this time you will also need a piece of fabric or a sheet, such as this one. Check it out.
Okay.
Shape a ball of newspaper for the head. Press it with your hands to make it tight, and then stick it with tape so that it won't come apart. To make the extended arms, roll up a page from a newspaper and stick it with tape. You must attach both pieces to a cardboard to create the ghost's frame. First the arms and then the head above. Very good! To make the ghost's body, get a large piece of fabric. Wrap the ball with the fabric so that it takes on its shape. Use little rolls of tape to stick it to the cardboard, like this. Next, lift the fabric and attach it underneath to the cardboard with tape. Arrange it with folds to give movement to the ghost. Use a white brush to cover the entire surface with Art Attack paste, made with equal amounts of glue and water. This way, the ghost will maintain the shape we give him. Awesome! Look, a bit of fabric was cut down here to make it look like it's floating. You can already see the shape of the ghost with its arms extended, scaring anyone who dares to look at it. Now let's give it some color and some details to make it look really scary. To make it look like a real ghost, paint the entire fabric white. Use a thick brush to work faster. When the paint dries, draw its face with a pencil. Make its eyes big, like these, and then draw its mouth wide open, as if it was screaming, "Boo!" Now color them black. Use purple and a bit of water to shade and give the ghost a more expressive face. You can use a thin brush like this. Use grey to color the folds to create the effect of movement of the body. See how it looks? Remember to color the folds and wrinkles to make it look more realistic. The background will be purple to make the white ghost stand out and jump out at us. Finally, highlight its outline with black and soften it by moving the brush this way. Paint a few bats flying around the ghost so it doesn't feel alone. As a final touch, use a white crayon to make some fog. And soften it with your finger like this. Fantastic! Have a look! Now this ghost is really scary. The great thing about this technique is that you can make any design you want. Just make a shape with newspaper, then cover it with fabric. Take a look at this witch, with a great big nose, sharp cheekbones, and a big chin. And look at this lizard. It's shaped with small paper balls. Now it's your turn to imagine a character and make a painting with volume.
Okay.
Yesterday, the wind brought me a piece of fabric, but I didn't have newspaper to apply the technique, so I decided to use coconuts instead. I think I made my eyes too big. Next time, I'll use seeds instead.
If you have lots of family photos, there's a fun piece to create. Look, here's a grandfather, and here's a grandmother, a father, and here is a child. How can we organize so many pictures? I give you the Art Attack family tree. Do you know what a family tree is? Well, it's a tree that represents a family, from the oldest member to the youngest one. Look closely. These two pictures are here because they're the parents of this lady. These two people are the parents of this man. And this little boy is their son. Let's design a tree to organize the family pictures that you have at home. Have a look. Draw a great big tree over a piece of cardboard like this one. Start by drawing a shape like this, as if it were a huge cloud or cotton. Then make a strong and wide trunk like this, with as many branches as you like. When you get to the bottom, don't forget to draw its roots, and a lovely garden filled with little flowers surrounding it. Next, use a plastic bottle cap and trace its outline in the following places. Make 4 circles up here, 2 in the middle, and 1 down here. To decorate them, make up a cheerful and fun design. See how nice they look? Now you have to connect the circles with branches. Watch how it's done. Add more details to the tree. You can make leaves, fruit, or anything you like. Then cut out the circles. It will look like this. Finally, cut out a frame from a piece of cardboard of the same size as the other one and place it over the drawing. Now we have the pieces that make up the family tree. The tree with the cut out circles and the picture frame. But before we add the photos, bring your brushes and your markers and let's color. Paint the sky bright blue so that your family tree comes to life on a beautiful sunny day. Since this is a very large surface, use a thick brush, but be careful not to paint over the drawing. Next, use light green to color the grass and part of the tree, such as this pretty little leaves. Use a darker shade of green to complete the rest of the garden and the leaves of the tree. See how nice these colors look together? The branches and the trunk will be brown. Finally, make your garden bloom with colorful flowers, blue, red, or any color you like. The painting looks awesome. Take a close look.
Okay.
It has been shaded and flowers have been added to the landscape. And a marker was used to outline the drawing and make lines on the trunk. The frame is painted red to make it look striking. We have one more step left to do.
Okay.
Bring your photos and watch closely.
Okay.
Now for the fun part. Let's add the photos of your loved ones. Your grandparents will go on the top row. To attach the images to the tree, stick some tape on like this and place the photos behind the holes. Your photo will be the last one and will go below the rest, right above the trunk. Now apply glue around the edges of the drawing to attach the frame. Add it on carefully and press down gently with your hands. Done! It looks amazing! You can hang the tree in your room or give it to your parents. But what if you find more photos? Look at this option. Look how many people there are in this house. Some people live upstairs, others stare out the window, and here, a child is ready to go out and play. And take a look at this colorful family. Each member is a flower. In this family story, siblings and cousins grow in a fun way, don't they? Now it's your turn to create your own family tree to organize the photos that you find at home. Have fun trying it yourself, and we'll see you again with more ideas to explore and create in the next Art Attack. Bye!